Okay, so welcome to the content calendar portion of the Ultimate Content Workshop. This is our massive action plan, and we're going to talk today about how to plan what to say, when to say it, and where to say it online. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. What exactly is a content calendar? What does it mean? Why are you going to be using it? What's the big deal? Why can't we just go forward and write the content and then run away from it? So our next point is going to be repurposing. This is where things get really exciting because you can get perpetual value from one idea so that the process of creating content is not, it's actually fun, enjoyable, and fast and efficient. Now we're going to talk about scheduling after that, meaning when you should be putting out content, what type, and how often. And then we'll talk about content format. And so what I mean is what kind of format should you be putting on your blog, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and any other social media tool that you'd like to leverage for your business. All right, so here we go. Your guide to consistent content. Let's get it. So really a content calendar is just a plan for what you are about to say. It's like writing down a speech before you give it. Exciting about content because you really can manage the voice of your company. And I can tell you now, the people who don't really have a voice for their company, they just don't have a voice at all anywhere. But particularly if you don't have a voice online, if you're not speaking through social media, generally your audience is not hearing you. So you definitely want to be heard. You want to stand. So you need a plan for what you are going to say, why you're going to say it. And so the content calendar, it's a basic schedule for showcasing everything about your industry. Why do you even need something like that? Like, what's the big deal? Well, like anyone's industry, you always are going to have a time during the year when people are hyper attentive. And so you want to ramp up and plan and create your content based on when people have the highest amount of attention on your industry, so that when people are looking for something within your industry, they come directly to you and not your competitors because you've educated them enough. Think of Cy Sims, an educated customer is our best consumer. So we want to focus on that as much, or should I say, an educated consumer is our best customer. So you want to stay as focused on educating your consumers or the consumers of the world as much as you can so that they convert into your customers. Okay, so here's what a content calendar looks like. It's pretty. What you have at the top there is the month. So I'm going to use my little pointer here to show you. So what you have here is the month, January, February, March. So I'm just going to be showing the first quarter of a year. The number one thing that I have underneath the dates or the months are the sales goals, because you really, even if you don't connect what you are saying on social media with your profit and loss statement, the amazing thing is when you have this number, when you just set this number, you're really able to infuse your content with, I don't know, money making phrases. Is the best way that I can describe it. So just stay as focused as you can on that and make sure you have a realistic number. All right, so this number here I put down as 5,000. Each month, sales goal 5,000. All right, so now the topic. Now, really, you don't have to get super specific here. If you want to, you can. And if you'll notice here, there's one section that says why copper is better than. So as you can see, the example I'm using here is for a plumber, and that's for January. Then for February, we have prepare pipes for spring. Say that 10 times fast. And next, preventative maintenance for your plumbing system. So general topics that we want to plan out. And then underneath that, emotional selling proposition. So these are the things that people say to themselves as they are reading your content or as they're looking at just things in general about these subjects. So your ESP right now, or emotion selling proposition, your customer, uh, your potential customer will be saying, I'm smart, I'm prepared. And again, I'm prepared. So in the plumbing industry, really, that's what you want to do as much as possible. Set it and forget it. And so underneath all of that, then we have, all right, what's the core blog? Okay, what's the article title? This is where we start granular, specific. And actually, this part is one of the hardest. And so, our next session, where we talk about article templates, I'll be giving you clear direction on exactly how to write this out. You're going to be very excited by it, and it won't be difficult for you anymore. So, title all set in place. This is one I really like. It says, "What your plumber may not be telling you." Intrigue. And so next we have email, what you're going to be saying. So you'll want to put out quick blurbs on copper. Then Facebook, you really want to have graphics and memes on the benefits of, whatever it is that you are promoting, whether it's a product or a service. Graphics are super powerful. And of course, I have a wonderful free tool where you can create your own if you need to. And then Twitter, of course, daily tweets from your core article. So we'll be talking about that in a sec. So now, repurposing your content. And if you notice back here, where it says, okay, the title is what your plumber may not be telling you, but then right underneath that, it says email, your quick blurb, then Facebook, your graphics on copper, and then daily tweets about copper. So really, we're sticking to throughout all of our social media. That's huge. So when we talk about repurposing, we take one theme or one piece of information and we spread it out across all of social media. What does that do? That really helps you to have a cohesive presentation no matter where you go on the internet. All right, so core blog article. Now, this is where you start. This is the foundation. Hopefully, you have a blog or even just generally a website. Of course, you know that your blog or your website has to continually grow. And so, adding articles to it, showing off really what you know is huge for building your blog or your website's popularity. Okay, so one blog article and you give it multiple lives other social media platforms. So, okay, so you built the article with multiple uses in, keep that in the back of your mind. So we're going to use bulleted lists, we're going to use focused sentences or numbered lists, like a 4-step plan, a 5-step plan, that kind of thing, so that we can actually spread out those points all over social media, all over Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Okay, those are the big boys out there. All right, so just keep that in mind that whatever information or whatever recommendation you are giving to your audience, break it up into tiny pieces, and then we'll be spreading that information across the web. All right, so create 2 to 4 emails from that one blog article. Okay, 2 to 4. I really like 4 because that means you have a weekly frequency and people don't have time to forget you within that week. All right, and so make the email a short teaser of the blog piece. So if people have not subscribed to your blog, but they are subscribed newsletter. This is, I mean, it's phenomenal because it can give you traffic on your blog and people can interact with you online. That's really something that you want to do. Email, great. I mean, it's one of the most powerful one-to-one marketing tools that you can ever use. But of course, your blog gives you expansion, it gives you more depth and more reach. What's really exciting about a blog is that, of course, you have comments. And so that just creates social proof, and people get more and more excited about who you are as a business, and then, of course, what you do. And so once they know you, once they like you, and they trust you, then, of course, they buy from you. All right. Include a link back to the blog page containing the article. Now I want to talk about going from the blog to Facebook and vice versa. Create 8 Facebook memes, and really a meme or a meme, as some people call it. It's just a graphic that people would love to spread and share throughout Facebook. You've probably seen these graphics that have a quote from a famous person, or they have a really funny or pithy title to them. Well, guess what? That's what you're going to be creating, but it's going to be based on this blog article. And the awesome thing about it is you don't have to be super clever, or you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just want to show that you know what you're talking about. Simple. All right. Now, of course, link back to the core blog article. That's huge. And there's something else here that I want to share with you. In addition to having that core article on your blog, you really want to include just one graphic that you would normally leave on Facebook. You want to include that within your blog, okay, at some point, because it makes it cohesive and people realize when they click on the link from Facebook that they're at home when they go to your page. Okay, so now for Twitter. All right, so what you're going to do is break out the core article into at least 10 separate tweets, just 10 separate ones. And really it can be on, the subject, and it could actually contain extra information maybe that you didn't include already in the original article. So that's pretty exciting, and that'll draw people to your Twitter following. All right, and so now your blog and LinkedIn Pulse. If you're not using Pulse on LinkedIn, you're really missing out on a phenomenal opportunity. So be sure to check that out. It's basically a blog for you or for your business, but it's dedicated to the LinkedIn platform. It's a really great way to show that you know exactly what you are talking about. And it also helps you to create a dialogue and a conversation among the hundreds of millions of people who are presenting themselves on LinkedIn. All right, so copy and paste your content into LinkedIn posts, but actually let's go back for a moment. One of those Facebook graphics, use that as a pulse graphic. Pulse, again, another cool thing is that they allow you to put a really nice image behind the top part of your article. So it's a good showcase for you. Okay, so copy and paste blog content into LinkedIn Pulse, and then include a link back to your blog. Why is all of this stuff important? It's important because we are renting certain platforms and then we own certain platforms. So really you're renting time, space, and experiences on Facebook because you don't own the conversation or the contact information. So let's say you wanted to stop using Facebook today. Tomorrow, how would you stay in touch with the people who you have contact with on Facebook? It's pretty difficult, right? You would have to create this entire plan just to make sure that you have everyone's contact info. So really you want to leverage Facebook as much as you can to build up your email following and your blog following. Those are the things that you own because you have the contact information of the people who are interacting with you on that platform. Very important. Same thing with Twitter. You really want to pull people who are already your Twitter followers. You want to make sure that they are having a conversation with you on your blog, or that they are on your email list, because you own it. That's portable. If you're tired of hosting your blog on one hosting platform, for me, HostGator, some people use GoDaddy's hosting, tired of it, you actually can take your entire following, your entire list of people who are, quote, listening to your blog, and take it to another hosting company. Same thing with email. Any email platform, you can take your list out and put it somewhere else. So you really have the control. Whereas Twitter, if you want to take your list of Twitter followers and interact with them somewhere else, there's really no way for you to do that. Same thing with Facebook. You used to have that capability, but not anymore. They've taken that away, shut things down, so your experience is almost 100% on their platform. So just keep that in mind. As a matter of fact, I just want to add another point. With Facebook, they used to really be up on having YouTube videos on the site. And now there are only organic videos, or people can only upload videos that they've recorded directly, and then upload the raw form, AVI file. So just keep that in mind. Facebook is tightening the circle there. They're keeping you on Facebook. Okay, so now use your repurposing for getting the contact info from your Facebook and followers, and of course Twitter followers, as I mentioned. Now keep your goals in mind, but definitely you don't need to make a heavy sale with any of the content that you're creating. Again, we want to focus on getting people to know you, getting them to like you, and getting them to trust you. Then the financial part will come. Ask yourself, how does this relate to my financial goals? Now, of course, you have to keep that bottom line focus. And really, that's where planning out the entire year comes into play. Because there are certain times of year when, yeah, you can be a bit more salesy in your wording. And then there are other times of year where that's not necessarily the case. So keep focused on that. Okay, and lean on your target audience profile. You have no idea how much I love that target audience profile, because it makes creating content so much easier. So once you get that down, and once you really have a hold on your target audience profile, writing this content or coming up with topics and ideas, it's a piece of cake. And when you follow the system that I've set up, really you only have to come up with 12 topics, just 12. And then the rest of the content comes out of those 12 topics. That's it. So it really isn't as labor intensive as some people would have for you to believe. It actually works pretty well. Okay, so tap into the challenges from your target audience. Be sure that, again, your target audience profile is updated, because really the needs of your audience are constantly changing. So you have to change with it. The top challenges. And of course, ESP, I mentioned that earlier in the presentation. It's what your audience says to themselves about their challenges. And so focus on supplying only solutions, right? Of course, you want to acknowledge the challenge, but it's really all about focusing as much as you can on, hey, this is what you can do to solve the problem, all right, or solve the challenge. We never want to say problem, always challenge. All right. For instance, one of the things that would be an emotional selling proposition, to himself, would be, I want a stress-free spring at home. Their desires. I hate home repair and want to make sure I don't have to fix anything. And make your focus connecting with the emotional selling of your audience and leveraging your following on social media. Now, this is huge. You have to leverage your following on social media so that you know what the emotional selling proposition is. And to go even deeper in this subject, you want to know what your audience really values. Okay, what do they value? What is really important to them? What will make them make a decision, and a strong quality decision? That's a big thing for you. So use your techniques from the target audience profile to make that a reality. All right, so that is your guide to creating consistent content. Thanks so much for your time and attention, and I really look forward to sharing with you the article templates. They're going to be amazing. I cannot wait. Talk to you later.